Hi Pisces, I am Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. This is your March 2016 reading. Couple of words before we start. If you'd like a personal reading from me, click up on the link in the corner. Loads of different readings there, loads of different prices. I'd love to do one for you. My on-demand Vimeo, whatever they're called. I've sorted all those out. They're on demand. They can get downloaded immediately to your iPhone, iPad, whatever device you've got. The list for those is down below if you want some extra psychic messages for March. And also check out your rising sign and your moon sign if this doesn't resonate, or just to get more of a picture of what's going on this month. We've got eclipses this month. We've got a lot of things going on this month. My cards seem to depicting that they're not shining, the stars are not shining greatly on you for this month. So let's get on with it and get into it. I'm going to move this card out of the way for the moment. Let's turn round the Emperor card. Some of you are feeling very much in charge. Maybe you're in a teacher position, an authority position. You've just got a job that's in that sort of position. So you might be in charge of a group of people or in charge of a lot of people. But you're in a position of, or you're feeling in a position of authority. For others of you, you've just got the feeling of being the Emperor at the moment, which pretty much means with the energies that are going on this month that you are toddling around, doing what you want, when you want, feeling like the Emperor, maybe not taking everyone else's opinions or feelings into consideration as much as you usually do, and to a certain extent be very, very careful of this energy, because with the Emperor card it can make you almost like a little bit bossy, a little bit temperamental towards others, which is not going to rub, it's not going to go the right way with others. It could lead to arguments and things like that. So just be aware of that energy. For some of you it's to do with your job, or you're looking after the family. You're having to do something which puts you in charge of others, and you're doing a really good job of it and you're doing really well. But if you take that energy too far, it turns into being too powerful over others, trying to take control of other people, or just being bossy and not listening to other opinions. It's crossed by the Hanged Man. So it's like, for some of you, you're either waiting on a decision to come through that hasn't come through yet, and maybe that's what's giving you this temperamental feeling, or this feeling that you've got. Maybe it's annoying you a little bit that you haven't got the answer that you're looking for yet, that you haven't had this person come back with a decision and you're still waiting on it. You're waiting for a job outcome, or you're waiting for a question you've asked in a relationship or something, and it's just not coming back yet, or it's not coming back to your satisfaction. And that might put you into that mood where, do you know what, I'd just rather go off, do my own thing, be on my own. I'm going to be feeling a little bit bossy. I'm going to give my opinion and stuff everybody else's. It might make you feel like that. For others of you, you're at a crossroads and you're having to make a decision, and it could be about letting go of something in order to move forward. But as a challenge card to you, you can't actually make that decision. You're having a very hard time making any decisions of any sort at the moment, and it's making you feel stuck. It's making you feel like you can't move forward. It's certainly on your mind at the moment throughout most of March, and it's causing a great deal of stress and worry for you. And there's something that you might have to let go of in order to get this new job or this new relationship, or to move forward in your life, but you can't actually feel like you're in the right place to make that decision, or you just can't make that decision, or you don't, or simply, if you're feeling very, very Emperor-like, you just don't want to make that decision. You're being very, very stubborn about something. When we go to, we've got the Seven of Wands, and most of my readings are in the upright position, but you this month have got a couple of 3 cards that are in reverse, and we've come up in the Seven of Wands in reverse for you. It is, you are being very headstrong at the moment. You're being very stubborn at the moment, and that's just not going to solve anything. It's not going to make things better. It's not going to change things. It's not going to allow you, some of you, to move forward. Again, this is not everybody, but certain ones of you out there, this is how it's looking. This is how the energies are feeling. It's like you don't want to. Maybe you've had some sort of argument with somebody, and at work or at home or in a relationship, and there's a part of you that knows they're right. There's a part of you that understands where they're coming from, but because of the energies, it's like, no, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm not going to put up with it. You've realised, you know, that maybe you're in the wrong slightly, but you won't admit to it. You're being very stubborn about it, and you're thinking, right, no, I'm not going to deal with this now. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to make a decision. I'm just going to go off. I'm going to do my own thing. If anyone tries to have a conversation with me about this, I'm just going to, you're going to be bossy. You're going to be uppity about things. So there's a lot of anxiety and there's a lot of confusion going on around you. The Seven of Wands is speaking of confusion towards the end of last month, towards the end of February. Not being able to make a decision as well comes in with the Seven of Wands. So it's just you feeling stuck in something, feeling very much stuck in something and not being able to move forward. And even some of you feeling, and this is bringing out this Emperor for some of you, because it's almost like you're feeling defensive about something, and your way of being defensive is to snap, is to be short with people, is to not get into a conversation with most people. It's just like, no, not having it. And that's your defense mechanism. It's like your wall coming up in front of you and your defense mechanism stepping in. And you don't know what to do about it. You don't know what decision to make over it. And it is confusing you. And you're just stuck. You're just stuck going forward. And I feel that for a lot of you, this may have been or is a relationship situation. Maybe you've been so stuck in or an idea or a concept within a relationship, and maybe somebody else has suggested changing it somehow or to make it better. And to a certain point, like I say, you know they're right, but you won't admit that to them, and you won't admit it to yourself either, to a certain extent. And you don't want to make the decision on it. So instead of doing that, you would rather just get defensive and block it out and carry on doing your own thing. It's hurting people around you, if this is the case, or it's hurting one person around you, and you're also hurting yourself very badly because of the confusion there that's with this reading. I'm sorry, it's not a happy reading this month. It's not a great reading. This just seems to be the energies for some of you. We have good months and we have bad months. If you go and look at my Libra, it's bloody awful for this month, and I want to go crawl in a hole. So it's just the way it is. It is what it is. So this confusion there going on for you, and you're doubting yourself as well. And again, your way of dealing with all of that confusion and doubt and is being abrupt, bossy, cutting yourself off, short-tempered with those around you. And you will probably do that with somebody who's the closest to you. That's usually how it works. You usually take it out on the ones you love, unfortunately, and it's not deliberate, and you don't realise you're doing it either. Sometimes this is not a malicious, nasty thing that you're doing. You don't even realise you're doing it, probably, or won't realise you're doing it. This is not you being absolutely, I'm deliberately doing this, I'm deliberately going to act like this. You don't realise how it's affecting people around you, and how on a deep level, on a deep emotional level, it's actually affecting you, because it's doing more damage than, it's doing more harm than good with these energies. So it's just like there's a challenge there. There's something there that is just proving too difficult to deal with at this time. and that's causing her. Your conscious position, we've got the Nine of Swords. So this is something that you are worrying about it, and the more you worry about it, the more you feel stuck in it, the worse it will feel, and the more nightmares you'll have, the more worry you'll go through. Worry just attracts more worry to you, and there's just this anxiety feeling. A lot of you feel like you do want to be on your own. You don't want to be bothered with people around you around this time. You've got there's almost a fear of loss there, through an inability to make a decision about something, but you can't make that decision. Can't come through for you. You're just not in a place where you can do that. But the more you worry, the more you procrastinate about it, please, the worse it will be. It's actually, if you sat down and spoke about it, if you sat down and sorted it out, if you actually faced your fears and did it, or made a decision, it would not be half as bad as you think it's going to be. But because you're putting it off, it's just putting more and more fear into yourself, which is making it more and more difficult to go through. And it's making you sad. You're having some pretty dark thoughts, some of you, at the moment, which is a worry to you. Got the Ten of Swords in your subconscious. This is something that you may not know about, something that is coming up for you during March, which you may not have realised yet, or it could be that this is related to all of this. And it's the Ten of Swords. It's you being sad. It's you almost feeling betrayal, feeling like you've been stabbed in the back. Yeah, you feeling like you've really been stabbed in the back, and you don't know how to move forward with that. You don't know what to do about it. There could have been a split up in a relationship, and you just don't know how to deal with it. And maybe it's come around quite quickly, and it's not something you want to deal with. It's not something you can face at the moment, or feel that you can face, because it's just causing you so much stress and worry. And you do, to a certain extent, feel stabbed in the back because of it. And I think this person here has probably got a lot to do with these feelings. There are new cycles coming around for you, and there's new beginnings coming around for you as well. But this cycle that you're at the end of now has to be cleared in order to go through and open new doors for you. It's almost, it's like you've got to make a clean break. There's a clean break got to be made, and it's almost karmic. It's almost like if you don't make the decision, then the universe will come in and make the decision for you. And to a certain extent, something major will happen one way or the other, whether you make that decision or not. If you're not strong enough to make the decision, if you feel that you can't face making the decision at the moment, and you're getting defensive and cutting yourself off, then events could come around, from the universe, karmically, that will bring up circumstances which is going to make it happen. Make it happen. Because there has to be a new beginning, there has to be a new cycle started with, and for some of you this is going to be work, and for some of you a family situation, or for some of you it's a relationship. And I'm sorry, I hate readings like this, but there's got to be some sort of clean break, or facing your fears and sitting down and sorting it out before something worse comes in and actually does break it. if you can look at it in a new perspective, or just simply think, I've got to sort this out, I've got to do this, no matter how painful, no matter how much it hurts, that would be a lot easier than other circumstances coming in, or the other person making the decision to make a clean break. As I say, it could be work, family, home. It could be a work partnership, something along those lines, where you feel stabbed in the back, your work partner's done something to you, you don't know how to deal with it. And maybe there is no way of actually completely at this time healing it, or coming up with a solution even to it. Maybe the only way forward is to just make a clean break of it, pick up the pieces, pick up what's left, be very thankful for what's left, and start to move forward again in a new positive way, on the way to into a new cycle for you. Because sometimes they're just, you know, maybe you've done everything you can. Maybe that's why you don't want to make the decision, because you're just out of ideas. You can't see the way forward. But something's happening. It has left you feeling just completely, to a certain extent, stabbed in the back. Like you've been under some sort of illusion. Like you've been under, not that you've deliberately been lied to, but you just haven't been able to see the truth of things, and maybe it dawns on you and you think, wow, this is bad, this is really bad, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to have to. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Cups, something to do with this could be something to do with the Queen of Cups, whether this comes out as a boss, a partner, a family member, a co-worker, a friend. Queen of Cups is usually a Scorpio, but that can be the rising sign or the moon sign, and they can also, but it could be any water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, or the other one which I can't remember off the top of my head. As me think. Pisces, you. Another Pisces, but they've probably got Scorpio in there somewhere. They've been concealing something, they haven't been telling you the truth about something they may have been hidden from you that has recently become clear or will become clear to you. Maybe they've been behaving in a strange way, and now suddenly you're going to find out why they've been behaving in a strange way. There is, especially if it's Scorpio in there, there's like mystery going on, and it can be male or female as well. I don't sort of put a gender on the cards, but I just feel like this person within this reading they've deceived you in some way. They're not, they can show you the most wonderful side of themselves, but there's another side to them which maybe you haven't seen before, and suddenly it comes up. They're emotionally possessive. They can be deceptive if they need to be, if they're trying to either protect themselves or do something for themselves. If it's to their own advantage, they will be deceptive. And they can be very superficial as well. It can be a surface thing with them, where they say one thing but they're meaning something else. You never get to the deeper emotional feelings underneath them. You never get that deep with them, because there's a mask there with them. They've been hiding something from you. This person is not the person who you thought it was. They've not met your expectations. They're not meeting your expectations. They are falling below. You thought you knew them, or you think you know them, but really you don't actually know them. There's too much going on underneath for you, for you to know, because they're hiding stuff. And we've got the Three of Swords, which is heartache, which is pain, which is your overall advice for the whole card. So there is some sort of clean break, split, separation, something along those lines, or really, and if it's not, it's a really deep argument or quarrel or struggle that's going on within it. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. I hate messages. I hate readings like this. Can I just miss yours out and do it next month instead? You're going to be focusing this month, for most of you, not all of you. This is why I say go and check out your rising sign, check out your moon sign, and see what else is going on for you, because there's going to be good stuff going on as well for you. But this is focusing on the loss of something, and you're not knowing how to deal with it. This could even be, it's coming in as maybe a family member who may have passed away, and it won't be a sudden thing. You might have known about it for a while, but and then you start going through their things afterwards, you know, if you're clearing their house or going through their estate or something, and you're finding out secrets that you never knew about them, that they never told you, that a completely different side to somebody that you just never knew, and that's coming to light now, and you just feel completely deflated because of that. For others of you, especially, you know, maybe if this is a relationship that's breaking down or something, there's somebody else involved that was there may be somebody else involved in, it's like a threesome, obviously, but not together. It's like somebody else was involved and they were interfering in the relationship, which has led to a breakdown of a relationship, or somebody interfering in a work situation. But there's bigger and better things ahead for you. There's bigger and brighter things. There is the start of a new cycle coming around. This has to happen. I've said about these eclipses this month, and some of them are going to be harsh for us, depending on you know what house they fall in and all the rest of it. So it is going to be harsh for some of us. This has to happen. This has to happen. Just try and know that this is maybe beyond your control, maybe something that has to happen in order for you to move forward into a brighter future, into something more positive, which is better for you. We've got the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups has come up in reverse, and this is people around you. So that again, this is the separation of two people. Again, work, family. It doesn't always have to be a relationship, but it will be a relationship between two people in whatever capacity that is in. So it's conflict and betrayal, broken promises, things that were supposed to happen that didn't happen because they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain. You know, and this is somebody around you that also feels like this to a certain extent as well. So it's like you've both got your own sides of what's happened and your own sides of how you feel, but don't think the other person in a work relationship or relationship or family, you know, it might not be, they're not getting off scot-free either. They're going to go through it as well, unfortunately. In order for any reconciliation of any kind I think this month, especially if it's a relationship or a work relationship, it's something, don't be the emperor and start being bossy and defensive and everything. Don't shut yourself off and think you can't make this decision. Give it one last shot. Sit down, talk, try and negotiate, try and go through it, because then at least you know that you've tried. Even if it doesn't work out, you know that you tried, instead of the universe swooping in and making a decision for you. Your hopes and fears, your hopes were that, you know, everything was going to be all right, everything would work out, that there would be fulfillment and contentment either in this job, in this relationship, in this family situation, and everything would be happy going forward. But unfortunately, and this again, this is not for all of you. And some of you may be able to turn this round if you find that you're in this position. You may find that you're able to turn it round if you sit down and talk about it. If you do some negotiations, it might be divorce procedure that you're going through. So we were hoping for happy endings this month, and for some of you it's not going to happen that way. Okay. And the outcome card is the Devil, and that's come in the reverse as well. So the Devil card in reverse is saying that please don't be so hard on yourself, because to a certain extent I really do feel like this is just karmic. This is meant to happen. This has to happen in order for you to get the new beginnings that you need. Because I think for some of you as well, this has been going on for a long time. You have dealt with it over and over again. You've gone through it so many times, but now you can see the light of it. You can see what that other person is like, and it's something that, even though you don't want to deal with it, and you might not have to deal with it, it's going to play out according to the divine timing and the universe. That's what it's saying. So please try not to be so hard on yourself, and try not to put yourself down either, because no matter how bad it looks, it really is going to lead to a new beginning for you. It is going to lead to something new and better and happier. It's just that this month, with the eclipses going through, it's something that you've got to move through. And it's not this is probably the worst. I hate this reading. And I think for a lot of you sort of have known it's coming up, but then suddenly it's like the light is shined on it, and you just see the other person for who they really are, or a situation for what it really is. And it just doesn't make you happy at all. And to a certain extent, you would have rather you hadn't seen it, and you wished you hadn't. Any problems that come up this month for you, my best advice would be to confront them head on. Do not avoid them. Don't shut down. Don't get defensive. Try and do it in the calmest way you can. Try and avoid any emotional outbursts. Say sorry, apologise for the parts you had to play in whatever this is that's coming out. And that way there may be something that's salvageable. You know, there may be a more amicable parting of the waves, or there may be a stall on the parting, so that you can work things through and slowly work things back. And I don't think you'd ever be able to get back that other person won't ever be able to get back your trust or anything, but at least you could just start to move it forward a little bit. you have to look at their faults for what they are, and to a certain extent you have to look at your own faults for what they are as well, and then work through them. So I'm going to pull your angel card as well, because I just hate this reading. And I can't honestly, there's extra psychic messages as well for Pisces, but I can't actually see, I can't remember what they are. I never remember my readings once I've done them. Pisces. Blech. Let's try not to drop them all. Okay, very strange. Some of you are gonna move on to a new partner, and again, I'm gonna take this as a new job, a new partner, relationship, and you're moving on to that. But in order to move on to the new beginning, the new cycle that's coming around for you, this has to be gone through first. Lessons have to be learnt from this situation. It's divinely orchestrated. Everything's in divine timing. Everything is divinely done, and you will move on and either move into a new job, a new business situation, a new relationship, a new way of life, a new beginning. But in order to do that, this has to happen first for some of you. This has to be gone through. Lessons have to be learnt from it. The separation in most cases will have to happen. Healing will have to be done in order to move on to this and move on to the new beginning. So I hope that helps. If you need a personal reading from me, please click up on the link in the corner. And I hope that it doesn't apply to everybody. I hope that you all comment underneath and say it's not happening, it's a load of rubbish. That'd be really good. But check out your rising sign and your moon sign as well. Okay, namaste, blessings and light. Bye.